The process I did with this one, I started with this bass line. Yeah, this one. And I thought that sounded cool. And what I usually do is I just build off of whatever idea I have. This was weird though, different since I'm like live streaming it. Doing it with people watching is different, and I think it's good. It's like good for creative energy, because I had never written something like this before. I recorded myself singing a C scale, but instead of just singing, I sang I Can't Believe It's Not Butter, because that's 8 syllables, so I can't believe it's not butter. I can't believe it's not butter. And then I flipped it around and pitched it up and then sliced it into that melody. This is actually what it sounds like backwards and pitched up. I did the sampling not live streaming, and I will do the vocals not live streaming because I'm too self-conscious. This is a very happy song. At least it sounds very happy, and I'm probably going to write it about happiness or whatever. Something joyous and light. And right now my computer's struggling to keep up with all this. Okay, so this is what we have now. Let's add that other set that I did, this intro. In the fall and the winter, all my music was, I don't know, let me think about it. It was kind of depressing, I guess, because I was a little bit depressed. But I think that's because I didn't have, like, that project mentality, like with Anthem. I kind of lost that a little bit, and I was just kind of like, whatever. But then New Year's, I gained that again. And, like, so now it's like I have a mission. I gotta do stuff. And that's, like, that, like, heightens my mental state. It's, like, a good place. I guess it just releases all of the dopamine in my brain. But yeah, so that's why it's happy now. And the happiness comes from that sense of purpose. So I don't know if I should write about purposeness or something else. The world's still in motion. Let's all go to Ivywild. We become who we want to be, not hindered by society. We standing on now. Let's all go to Ivywild. If you say that you wanna come home, live in peace in the place of your soul. Learn to live in a way that is bold. Let's jump to Ivywild. Ivywild is the name of the song, and basically Ivywild is the headspace that like children inhabit, where they have like endless possibilities and endless imagination, and they have wild dreams of like being superheroes and whatnot, and they're not hindered by shame or by practicalities. They just live in constant wonder, and like everything is new, everything is beautiful, and it's like a representation of like the Garden of Eden, like the beginning of creation, and like this beautiful chaos and life that's just abundant. And yeah, so like that headspace of childlikeness and seeing the world as if it were new all the time. So yeah, it's a very happy song because childlikeness is very happy. So so all the lyrics are talking about like being in awe or being in wonder, and like jumping into the Ivywild or living in the Ivywild. And it's something that I feel like is so easily lost, like especially like in adult life, like doing adult things, like having a job and paying bills. We lose that Ivywild. Um, and so I just want to create like a conversation on like what is this headspace, what is the Ivywild, how is it different from like being childish, being childlike, like what's the difference there, and what's the benefit of it, and how can we keep it, how can we stay in that state of mind, and like what are some potential like non-benefits, like what's bad about it, like what problems can arise from it and things like that. There's like a reference to a movie. I say be at one with your two strings, which is a reference to the movie Kubo and the Two Strings, which is such a beautiful movie because like uh, if you haven't seen it then this is going to be a spoiler, but at the very end of the movie, when they defeat the bad guy, um, basically like the souls of all the lost, or all the like ancestors of the people of the village come and take away his memory. And when they do that, all the villagers, like when he asks, "Who am I?" all the villagers come up to him and they go, "You are the nicest, most beautiful person." And like that's so mind blowing because this guy just like tried to kill everyone and like like, but all these villagers are surrounding the bad guy with compassion and saying things like, "You're so kind and generous," and they're like building up this new identity. Like they're not like shaming him or like saying, "You did all this bad stuff, now we're gonna kill you," like. And that's what Ivywild is, like looking at someone who like yes does bad things but like saying, "I still love you, I still like trust you, and I still like want to care for you," and stuff like that. So yeah, that's Ivywild. Twitter is the best.